Change is not for Robert Mugabe, the change is for the people of Zimbabwe.
Yes. Greetings, good people. My name is DJ Oli, and welcome to Point 5 Creative Studios. Chitubu che content, chitubu chisingapu, chitubu chinonwa nemunhu wese, chitubu chakavhenekwa, chikaongororwa nana mazvikokota kunzi aiwaka. Chitubu ichi chine content iri healthy, content iri clean, content yakachena, content yakakodzera kunge ichikonsumwa nemunhu akatanga iwewe. Ndosaka uri panapa muzuva ranhasi. So if it's your first time here, please dzvanya subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any exciting content uploaded. Yakambotanga iri nyaya yema street lights. Zvikanzi pabiwa 9 million, pabiwa mari yakati, zvikanzi nyaya yema workshops. Ma workshops zvikanzi pakashandiswa 11.5 million pa 7 months for ma workshop aitwa weekly. Ezvino mari iri kunzi yasvika ku 200 million US dollars missing ku city council yeHarare. Kukanzuru yeHarare ndo nyaya yandiri kufamba nayo zvamanje manje, ndo nyaya yandoda kuti tingoonesana kuti chii chakambonyasoitika, chii chiri kutora nzvimbo, zviri kumbonyatsofamba sei. Imagine 200 million iri kunzi dai yakaiswa kubasa, dai yakanzi yakupinda mubasa, yaigadzira marodhi akawanda sei, yaisa mastreet lights akawanda sei, mvura taiiwana kumaraini kwedu, magetsi, zvinhu zvaita sei, zvaichinja. But vakomana ava vakadecida kuti aiwaka isusu tisu tega tinoziva kukosha kwemari, rega tiite sei, tidye mari. Mawani chaiwo chaiwo. Saka pana patoda titsanangurirane tionesane kuti 200 million iyi yakafamba sei, chii chakambonyasoitika kuti tisvike patasvika panapa handitika. Right, like mazuva ese ndiri kuti kana une business raunaro rauda kuti kushambadzire, ndibate namba dzangu ndo idzo dziri pascreen idzo. Kana une nyaya yaunayo yauda kuti tifambire, ndibate futi pasame number idzodzo handitika. Toita sei, tofambira nyaya dzacho handitika. And then igaroziva kuti tisati tapinda munyaya yedu inenge ichipisa zvemusi iwowo handitika, tinombotitengesei mbijana. Right, gwenzi rephytomed ndo gwenzi riri kupisa zvamanje manje, ndo gwenzi riri kuita zvino, ndo gwenzi riri kurapa, ndo gwenzi rekuti unofanira kugara unaro mudheni, ndo gwenzi rekuti unofanira kugara unaro mudheni. Ukaita musoro ndo gwenzi racho iro, ukaita musana, mudumbu, zvirwere zvakasiyana siyana rinorapa handitika. Saka kana uri kuSouth Africa bata namba dzakanzi koni idzo, kana dzakanzi fochi, kana uri kuZimbabwe wobata namba dzakanzi nyari idzo. Unogona uri kune imwe nyika zvako uchitoridawo gwenzi iroro handitika, chingobata vasikana ivava vanokuudza zvekuita sei, vanokuudza zvekuita handitika. And then togara tichitaura futi kuti munhu ngaarongeke mukati meupenyu handitika. Munhu anofanira kunge akaita sei, akarongeka zvekuti kana uine bhizimusi, bhindauko rako raunoita handitika, bhindauko rako raunoita aiwa register company kana uri mugari wemuSouth Africa, chinongodiwa chete ipassport yako chete handitika. Ukaita passport yako zvinhu zvako zvaita sei, zvinhu zvako zvaringana, woita sei, wobata Owen namba dzake ndo idzo dziri pasi apo, ndiye munhu wacho ari kuita zvinhu zvamanje manje handitika. Saka bata Owen panhamba idzo dziri pasi apo, umutaurira kuti Owen tabva nekuna DJ Holly ari kutaura kuti iwewe ndiwe munhu wacho uri kuita sei, uri kuita zvinhu zvamanje manje handitika. Right, rega tipinde munyaya yangu ndikuratidzei umbowo hwandinawo, ndozokunzwisaiwo imwe recording futi yandinayo panapa handitika, kuti zviite sei, kuti zvingotsigirana muzvionere kuti aiwaka idzi nyaya idzi haasi majokes handitika. Right, pane tweet yaiswa naUncle Jedzi handitika, ndiyo yavari kutaura ivo kuti video racho I'm going to show you after this. Hanzi, so according to this video, a person could just bring their POS machine. Kana uchitaura POS machine wataura point of sale machine, kakanonzi swipe machine kai kubva kumba. According to this video randichakuratidzai, munhu anouya nemachine, swipe machine yake kubva kumba, connect it to the system and collect money. Vari kutobvunzawo Uncle Jed, kana neniwo ndikutobvunzawo, ende video ndichakuplayirai moita sei, mozvionerawo mega kuti ichokwadi here ichi chiri kuitika handitika, and connect to the system and collect money. This resulted in a 200 million haul. Harare City Council is one big crime scene. Harare City Council is one big crime scene. Saka zviri kunzi, according to this video randauda kuchikuratidzai, according to this video, munhu aingouya nemushini wake, swipe machine yake, okolekta mari, akolekta mari, oisa mari muhomwe, mari yopinda maaccount make. Vanhu pavari kuva vachita mapayments papai, mari iri kupinda maaccount make. Amenoti ndizvowo here vanoziva accounts, vanoziva technology, tibatsireiwo ipapo mutiudzewo kuti zvinhu zvakadaro zvinoitika zvemashuwa. Saka without wasting much of our time, rega tipinde muvideo tinzwe kuti what was being said on this video.
The town clerk confirmed that you now had an ERP system that we came to inspect. Because as the Public Accounts Committee, our mandate is limited to the findings of the Auditor General. And the Auditor General, in her last report, the 2022 report, discovered that in this department, this is where people were bringing point-of-sale machines from home, collecting money, and as a result, when she was auditing her books, $200 million could not be accounted for. You needed to engage BIQ on a short-term basis for the purposes of connecting the system so that the Auditor General can discover what happened to the $200 million. And that is the recommendation that came from the 9th Parliament. That is the recommendation we discussed with your management when you came to Parliament, because we're following up on that issue. And that is the reason why we resolved that we must come here for you to show us the progress that you are making as far as assisting the Auditor General to look for the 200 million. But to our surprise, there is no ERP here. This ERP that you have is outside our mandate, unfortunately, because we don't deal with the current issues. We don't interfere with who you give your ERP systems, but we are here for the purposes of the $200 million that requires the previous vendor to reconnect his system so that the Auditor General can finish his report. So why did you waste our time, Mr. ICT Manager, calling us here when you know that there is no work for us? Because these MPs are supposed to be doing something else.
Right, I don't know if zviri kumeka sense zviri kutaura izvi kuti munhu aiuya neswipe machine yake kubva kumba okonekta pamushini akonekta pamushini vanhu vakauya vachita mapayments kukanzuru vachita mapayments kudaro mari iri kupinda mumapersonal accounts avo kusvikira mari yakabiwa yasvika iyo pa $200 million. Akomana haisi $200 kai this is 200 million ndo patasvika zvamanje manje apa handitika ende tiri kuziva kuti town clerk vedu vari muchizarira zvamanje manje vakamirira kutongwa handitika Harare City Council town clerk engineer Hosiya Chisango mahwana avo zvamanje manje vari kupomerwa mhosva yeuori yekuita sei yekutsotsa mari yemwenje mari yemalights street lights amenoti zvakafamba sei. Mushure mekuongororwa kwenyaya idzodzi dzema-street lights idzi pakatozobuda imwe nyaya yekuti pane 11.5 million US dollars yakashandiswa pa 7 months vanhu vachiita ma-workshops on weekly workshops amene kuti vaidya chikafu chakaita sei kana kuti vaitonogara muhotera kuti kuworkshop musi wefriday vozobuda saturday kana kuti sunday handinyatsonzwisisa hangu, but uyo mamuona ndiwendoyo ari kutaura uyo sachairperson of Republic Accounts Committee handitika ma1 rega tipinde tinzwe kuti vamwe vanhu vane maonero nemafungiro akasiyana-siyana vari kuti chii handitika. Big up to Frango ari kuita sei ari kuona zvamanje manje. Let us know kwauri kuona uri kuti uri kuzvionawo sei zvakamira sei. Weisawo comment mucomment section kuti pane kwatiri kuenda here senyika kana opposition yacho iriyo ine chimuti yahwina semakanzera yotanga kuba kusvika pakadai so apapa. Ndosaka makazoona mukomana advocate Nelson Chamisa akazosiya kuti chinhu chaora ichi aiziya kalaba yevanhu vaita se vaishanda navo handitika. Rega timbonzwa kuti panapa zviri kunzi chii nevamwe vane maonero akasiyana.
It's Friday, Kunoko. Thanks, Mia. Thank you, Uncle Jed, for the space and for allowing me to speak. I'll go right into the cracks of the matter. When I hear kuti pari kushaikwa transparency ne accountability, ndoita kuti mwiri wangu waita nyaviri. I get triggered. And okoyo to whoever will come near me at that point in time, because that just really, pardon my French, pisses me off. We cannot have this continuation of things that are bad with our country, especially with those who say they're there to represent us, they're the opposition. It makes absolutely no sense. Yes, they'll come through and they'll tell you that, oh, yes, when we talk about the Harare City Council, there's ZANU-PF, there's Triple C, there's blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. But someone is sleeping on their job. And who am I going to look at? I'm going to look at the mayor. Ndo munhu wekutanga wandichatanga kutarisa mayor Mafumi. Kuti nai mayor, what is going on in your house, in your camp? Chichiri kuitika, right? And when I look at him, I'm also thinking of what's happened right now. And what's this school of ideology? He was there mingling with other people, and then now you come to a point, and not just other people who've got an ideology, people who have been known by Zimbabweans to loot, right? Vanhu ndo vari kutamba nawo, and the next thing you hear is kune mari blow, it's being blown off like 11. Oh my gosh, come on. A workshop in 11 million. Workshops, 11 million. What were they eating at those workshops? What? Manna from heaven. Where were they sleeping? In heaven. I would like someone to help me understand how workshops would lead to this. And remember, Appa, we're just talking about workshops. What about the monies that they get paid? What about the travel, this and that? What about other events? The money, it's even more than this then, because we're only talking about 11 million on workshops. What happens to the other things that they've been doing that we don't yet know about? And the money is growing, right? And these are the same people, especially because I'm critiquing those who say Kutindoma Triple Civic, right? The opposition. I'm not expecting this because they need to lead by example. I'm expecting them to be the ones telling us that such and such is happening. Citizens, we don't agree with this. But they're the ones who are enjoying. They're the ones who are also enjoying, they're partaking, right? In this type of thievery. When the citizens have tightened their belts because we need to loosen our belts because their stomachs are too fat right now. Right? They're fattening their pockets, right? They're fattening even their bags and everything. And citizens that they're supposed to be looking after, the residents in Harare, are struggling. They're talking about there's water coming out of that road. It needs to be closed. I've seen posts where he's being called out, Kutikwapa, what's going on, whilst he was enjoying himself overseas, right? Meeting and mingling with the Chinese and all that. And in Harare, potholes, what, water drainage problems, all these things. And you tell me, like, guys, let's be serious. I do not think that you should wait for I said, it's no longer 5 years. You should not wait for the remaining amount of years, right, before we become citizenry who are able to hold someone accountable. I don't agree with this thing, we'll deal with them at the next election. Why? Why do you wait that far? How much is going to be squandered if you have to wait that far? This thing needs to be dealt with by tomorrow, even by yesterday. You should have been dealt with. Don't we have Vananogara Marare? Do you not know what sort of action you need to take when you show your dissatisfaction? It's your right. We need to come away from this thing where people who, once they get into power, they think they're immune. They think they're immune. They can do whatever they want. Because if you do not handle this situation right now, ladies and gentlemen, and hold them accountable, right? And bring in people who are serious, rather, you're going to find yourself, when election time comes, people change. Before you know it, you know what we're going to remove him, we'll vote for someone else. Kwaka decide that when no join ZANU-PF, and then he runs as a ZANU-PF candidate. What are you going to do? Because he's got a right to campaign under any political jacket. And already it looks like they're already befriending each other. They're shaking hands. They're eating money together. What are you going to do? That means there's no justice that will be served, but money is still being taken away, right? Money is still being used like this. Sorry, I'm speaking in my mother tongue. If someone doesn't understand, I apologize. I feel I need to express myself the way I'm feeling. So if you now come to a point where you say we'll wait until the next election and remove him, that is the wrong move. Because every day they sit on that chair, more money is being drained, right? More services are not being taken care of. It'll be us who are suffering. They'll be enjoying. And guess what? They'll be putting their monies in offshore accounts. They'll be putting whatever they've gained somewhere else. We'll deal with him after the term. No, deal with the person now. Hold people accountable now. The leaders need to be held accountable. I don't understand even why Triple C opposition are saying nothing about this. Because in your opposition, Yachoka, why do they not say anything when it comes to these matters and even critique their own to say, I no, you're giving us a bad name. Why are they silent as if when one eats and others keep quiet, it means they're culpable. And Mia, you said it. You become complicit. Your silence is complicit. You're complicit. So we need to come to a point, ladies and gentlemen, where we start to hold people accountable, right? Then you can't expect someone who is taking part in seeing these things happen tomorrow to then criticize ZANU-PF, this minister has done this what has done that. It makes no sense. It's hypocritical. You become a hypocrite because you're doing the same thing. So how dare you denounce someone which is hurt? You too are doing the same thing. It makes absolutely no sense. And this is the stage we need to reach to, because to be honest with you, you don't even have to live in Harare to feel the pain that I'm feeling right now when I think of service delivery that is not working and someone is benefiting, enjoying. I bet you, apana no shake up my workshop, I bet you. Yeah, when they have meetings to do with drainage problems, I bet you that's when they come in and say, apologies, I can't attend, apologies, what? But when the workshops come in, because Dikoka Kunemari, that's where they get pampered, that's why they enjoy, they'll show up in their numbers. And none of us are looking into these matters. None of us are critiquing these things. It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. And so, Uncle, to answer your question, this is deep. How deep does this go? This rot, this candles, it goes deep. We've seen people shaking hands. We've seen Pomona this. We've seen building that. We've seen this person, contractor, coming in and saying, I'm investing this. You see them smiling. Why are they smiling? Is there anything to smile about? Ungasekerera sure uchiuziva kuti kune drainage problems. Apa waita diri yeku build us some flat that you know that people who live in Harare may not even enter or live in those buildings. So and you smile at it. Yes, we've done something good. Oh, we've worked. The mandate for which people gave you, have you answered that call? No, you haven't. You haven't. And this is where we need to get to, ladies and gentlemen. Where we deal with these leaders now, it doesn't matter who they are because it is the system which is broken. This is what I always used to say. To say that as much as we talk about corruption and we talk about bad governance and things, and we have these kind of individuals that we always say, if this person leaves, therefore everything will be okay. We are lying to ourselves, because even if Mukavisa mafumenas, if you do not fix the system that he's working under, the next person will become a mafume. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't fix the system, anyone who sits there, they'll come. Vachitaura, when they campaign, they tell you lovely things you want to hear. Yes, that's politics for you. But when they enter that seat, they grab onto spiritual. Spirit. It's like there's a spirit which enters them to say, yeah, you've entered this seat of corruption. Now you also be corrupt. We've seen this happening, ladies and gentlemen, and I feel it's high time we started to deal with these matters. Every single time we see them happening, it shouldn't take this long for justice to be served, right? And where is the anti-corruption committee? I was expecting them to be looking into these matters. When no one should be left out of this thing, because we want to know. Even if there was no mishandling of corruption, fair enough. But the expenditure makes no sense. It's like that parliamentary laptop issue that happened, the saga. A laptop that costs what, hear me, kuma 2,500 uri lucky. One laptop, 5,000. How does that make sense? If someone is doing that, then they need to be held accountable. We need to make sure that things are transparent. And it starts right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let us not just come here and talk and get all emotional. Yeah, someone is saying I'm emotional right now. I don't care. Let's not just stop here. Let's take it to the ground, because let me tell you something. One thing they've mastered, these politicians, is that we always end on social media. We only talk here. No one goes on the ground and actions things on the ground. So even as I talk right now, they're listening, they're hearing us. They'll definitely not respond to what we're saying. And you know why? Because they know good social media. And it were called keyboard warriors. That's what they call us. There's a reason why they call us that. Because we always end here with the recordings. Yes, you listen to it. Yes, you probably cry. Yes, you probably clap. But that's it. What happens on the ground? Who among you is going to be the person who's going to say, Inin, I'm going to take this matter. I'm going to take it to official channels. It's about taking it to official channels, making sure that things are looked into. We can't just stop here. And I'll end here for now. Thank you so much.
Right, mazvinzwira mega pana chekubvisa kana chekuwedzera apa. People are not happy nezviri kuitika mukanzuru yedu. Right now we've got 200 million yakatsakatika. Amene zvakachitaurwa nawo ende kuti zvinomeka sense here kuti munhu aibva nemeshini yake pa10 osvikoita sei osviko-connecta pasystem yekanzuru, vanhu vachiswipe vachiita mapayments, mari ichipinda muaccount make. Amenoti zviriko here zvinhu zvakadaro izvozvo. But anyway, ndo nyaya yanga ndangokunzira zvamanje. Thank you very much for watching. Fungai Shoko, thank you very much and good morning to you. Frango Chinembiri, thank you very much for watching. And everyone else who has been watching, thank you for supporting Point 5 Creative Studios. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell kuti patinodzoka nerimwe video futi unombo notifyiwa kutoudzwa kunzi aiwa vanhu vaiva vatanga futi pane video nyuwani rikuita sei riri kubuda. Handitika nyange zvikaoma sei, zvikarwadza sei, tiri pachirangano. We are on a mission. Nyange tikatadza kuita zvatiri kufanira kunge tichiita, but ngatisakanganwai kuti tiri pachirangano. Handitika. So as for me, DJ Oli and the rest of the crew behind the scenes, what is bye for now. Ngasangane mu video rinotera ndine nyaya yamagaya futi yandiri kufambira yandiri kuya nayo, the rise and the end, the fall of magaya zvamanje manje anogona kungodona mukomana. So it's bye for now. Baba here, iri pachirangano.
Change is not for Robert Mugabe, the change is for the people of Zimbabwe. Change.